It's silence.
Loud before the storm.
Your Royal Highness, whereas you are firstly Princess Anne, and properly so, you're also, in a sense, you're Mrs. Mark Phillips. You're also the daughter of Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip. I wonder how frequently you get together as a family, when you join with your mother and father and possibly your brothers also for dinner and that sort of thing.
Well, it very much varies. As you know, at the moment they all seem to be scattered all over the globe, and will still be when we get home. It varies tremendously. They don't live very far. When they come down for the weekends, if they're all there, we might drop over. So it's very irregular, and you know, whoever's there.
That does actually happen though, does it? That you might be sort of sitting home with a free Saturday afternoon and the Queen and Prince Philip, as you put it, would drop over?
Well, no, we would probably do the dropping over simply because they have a more regular weekend pattern and we have a very irregular weekend pattern, what with the competitions and everything.
And in this same regard, Your Royal Highness and Captain Phillips, a lot of people watching this programme tonight would wonder just what you do when you're having an evening at home, for example. You don't have that much time, of course, but do you watch television, and if so, have any particular programmes that you'd like to mention that you find as favourites?
I think it varies tremendously. We don't have that many evenings together at home, but I think when we do the various things we do, very often there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and or letters to be written and whatever, or we just sit at home and relax and watch television.
How many days in a week would you come home and just sort of slump in front of the television set after dinner?
I think it varies tremendously, again, from depending what time of year it is, and in my point of view, depending what's going on in the army and things, and depending on whether I'm out and exercising and Princess Anne's away doing official things or whatever.
Now, yourself and your husband, you are both really in quite unique positions to observe world affairs. I mean, you meet heads of state, leaders of government and the like, when they confide in you and that sort of thing. Do you ever feel constrained to possibly write about this, or to keep diaries that will be published in due course?
No, never.
Why not? I think if one did one, would keep a diary now. None of us keep a diary.
I don't relish the prospect of either in 50 years or whatever it is, statutory 20 years after one's death, anybody rewriting them. To start.
It's the rewrite you'd object.
Oh, very much.
Looking back on this tour, ma'am, we read with some concern that your schedule has appeared to be too tight. And there are a lot of people, townspeople, haven't even had the opportunity of seeing you, saying hello to you, shaking you by the hand, whatever.
I think it's the other way around. I think it's because we've taken as much time as possible to talk to as many people as we can. That's why it's been tight, I think. I think it's far more that way around than the other.
So any criticism in that regard would be ill-informed criticism, would it?
Well, I think perhaps not on-the-spot criticism, no. Itineraries of necessity are probably tighter than one would wish, but I suspect that it's a sign of it's a good sign to be late, and it's an absolute sin to be early.
On the sort of planning side, it's the people who plan an itinerary like this run hiding to nothing, because if they plan in on a great period of time to be talking to people and things, and then nobody turns up, they're a bit stupid.
When I was preparing,
gauge how the people are going to be there.
When I was preparing for this interview, I read the transcript of the interview that you both did just before you got married, a combined interview with BBC and ITV, which was a very, very direct interview. I mean, it would be no different to my way, I think, to most of the interviews that I do on a daily working basis with politicians. Were you at all put out? Were you both essentially cross-examined, and the innermost workings of your lives and personal affairs were looked into? Were you put out by that?
I think actually the only thing that I felt at the time was that just the business of getting married, and what I felt was the purpose of the interview. It was perhaps a little hard. It didn't seem to quite fit into the time or what they seemed to be after, but I don't think it mattered. I didn't,
But I think on that score, I think the interviewers are possibly handicapping themselves, because
which leads us perhaps into the area of the media and how you generally relate to them, and at times perhaps you find them irksome, if that's the word, because of alleged actions by them. Is that right,
Well,
Your Royal Highness?
when you say the media, you're covering a multitude of sins, and if I talk about the media and say there are certain things they do, the other lot squeal. There are two lots of people who follow us on tours, particularly, and one lot of photographers and one lot of reporters. Photographers, I think, in their own way, they're on a hiding to nothing, because they're bound to get it in the neck from security people and from our people and from us in a way, because they've been getting it in the neck from the other end. The sad thing is that they almost cannot help but get in the way of the people who've come to see one, you know, in the places that one goes to. And this is the sadness. And this is I think, the time when one gets a bit annoyed, because you see, you know, small children and peering through their legs and getting knocked over by them, and